So I don't know technology. I don't understand it.
You got the window different. Like when I was recording, like there was so much empty space. Now you have like all the full space. You know? Like
Good for us filling up space.
Good for us.
All the space.
All the space. Yeah. I'm so tired. Lyric was up at like God knows what time this morning. Just playing, but then eventually she had to come out of her room and it's just been a long day. I'm just tired, so
yeah.
Yeah, Caleb's like sick, but not sick. Like he just has something going on with his tummy. And his gas is just so bad. And he waits until he's sitting on my lap. And then he lets it rip. And I'm just like, at first, I'm just like, oh, that's silly, right? Because I don't smell it right away. And then you get the stench hidden up your nose. And I was like, oh my God, child. Like, I almost threw him off my lap. I was like, God.
You gotta, like, remember, you're like, oh, no, I can't do that today.
But, like, survival instincts kicked in first. It was like, no, you need to get away. And then mother instincts kicked in second. It was like, oh, wait, I can't do that. So.
He just needs to like feel comforted before he can feel comfortable enough to fart. You know.
Yeah, I guess use mommy as a toilet or something. I don't know, but
whatever works.
He wasn't eating at first either. And then eventually he did want to eat, and all he wanted to eat was bananas. And I'm like, does this make it worse or better? Like,
it's like you're like fed is best, but then there's always a limit.
Yeah. Banana farts is my limit.
You're like, oh, I don't know anymore. Maybe not fed. Yeah. That's good too. Oh man.
Oh.
I'm always having a long day. That's just
you are. And you keep adding to it. And I'm like, how? Well, and then you're just like, Kyle.
Kyle, yeah.
Like being like, sorry, Kyle.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, Kyle. We're doing 10 more things today. Like and like our dogs broke our fence. Like and we can't do anything about it because it's winter. And like there's like still 5 feet of snow. So we have to take them out on the leash. And they refuse to go to the bathroom on a leash because they're not used to it. They're like, I don't like this prison. Like, it's like, I don't know how I feel when when I wear socks, it like hurts my bones. I'm like, oh my God, they're like feet prisons. So like, I kind of get, how they're feeling. It's not socks, but I'm sure it's the doggy equivalent to socks. It's prison.
Foot prisons, yeah. They get like claustrophobic.
Yeah, you're oppressing me.
I don't know. I know like cats, when they wear harnesses, they really have to, or like leashes or anything, they have to like train because all these muscles, whenever they're like touched, will like paralyze parts of them. So like, you really have to train them. Like the tape thing, if you put tape on the side of a cat and they just lay limp.
Yeah. They're dead. Yeah. There's no
they're just like they can't move.
So because they're COVID babies, so they get all the attention. So we're like, oh, like, we expected the dogs to be the same as the older dogs. The older dogs never try and jump a fence. They never try and go over. They're just like, this is my space, and that's fine with me. Like Rocket could just walk over the fence, no problem. Like he's like a giraffe dog, and then like. But he doesn't because he's like, this is my space. And then the 3 littles, they're just like, I do what I want. And they jump the fence. They like.
Yeah, because they're still babies, right? So they're still exploring. It's like having children.
Yeah. And then so they keep running to the neighbor's yard to play with the neighbor's dog. And this poor dog is so sweet. Every time I go over to get my dogs, he's like scared. He's like, oh my God. I'm like, I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. But like the neighbors are really nice about it. They're really cool. They're like, good. It's fine. I'm like, I'm so sorry. He's like, don't worry about it. And they're just like, it's fine. They're beautiful dogs. And but like
it is like kids. It just reminds me of like the TikToks of like all the kids that grew up like during COVID, like the 4-year-olds that just like are grabbing stuff off of strangers like plates at restaurants
Yeah.
and shit now.
Yeah.
Because they have no knowledge of like eating in a restaurant.
That's
Yeah.
gonna be Caleb for the rest of his life, though. Like, he's just grabbing shit all the time, sitting on strangers' laps and farting. That's gonna be my kid.
Like you have like
no, go.
go. Okay, I was like, yeah, like they're like be testing like for psychologists later on. Was this child? Do they have autism or is it COVID? You know, like were they sheltered at the beginning of their life because of COVID? That's why they're like this way, or is it autism? Like it's gonna be interesting for poor psychologists in a few years.
Or it's
Yeah,
both.
they're gonna have to re-update the DSM.
Yeah, COVID.
Yeah. I was just imagining like Caleb like just like farting on Santa Claus. Like, what do you want for
Probably,
Christmas? It's just like
Rip. Like, I
There's
think the
Santa
present on my
for you.
pillow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thinking now he must have farted on my pillow, and that's how I got the sty on my eye. Because, like, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Like shit particles are like in your eye. Yeah.
Thanks
how
to
you
my
get pink
baby.
eye. Yeah.
Hey, there was a TikTok that I just saw like today, and it was a woman like had come back from a Vegas vacation, I think, and she was sleeping in her bed, and she had like one of those Nest cameras, and her like 3-year-old like woke her up to smearing shit in her face, like literal shit.
Yeah.
And like she's like waking up and doesn't know what it is right away, and you just like it's a silent camera, so you just see her like and then panic while there's like shit all over her pillow.
Oh no.
And her 3-year-old was just like, you know, yeah.
Art.
So
Yeah.
it can happen.
Kids are
I mean, that
wonderful.
was shit, not just
Yeah.
farts, but I'm just saying, you know, it's in the
Yeah.
realm.
It probably, I'm guessing that's what happened. Because, like, that or stress. Because, like Sonia, I've had a really long freaking week, and I'm done. I'm just, I'm hugging my bottle right now.
Oh, I see
no
that.
glass, all bottle.
Yeah.
Do you want to get
You're into
started
the
then so
sweet
you can
stuff,
open
yeah.
that?
Yeah. Like you're always drinking like juice. Like you have alcoholic juice. Like it's so sugar. Like it's
This is Bailey's. This is, and it's
I
coffee.
know.
It's not juice. It's milkshake.
It's like juice. It's a milkshake. All right, get us started, bitch.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey. Hello.
How's it
Hello. It's going. I mean, we just
Going.
talked about how it was going. If you want to hear those
Yeah.
conversations in our pre-drink episodes on our Patreon, well, you know, the link is probably in the bio of this, so you should check that out.
Yeah.
It might be. We'll see.
It's everywhere. Because we post that shit everywhere.
I know. Please like us.
Yeah.
It's
Please,
been a week. I
friends.
think it's just been a week. It's been a week for all of us. It's been the
Yeah.
weakiest of weeks. You
The
know,
weekiest
pretty weeky week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A weeky.
It's the
A
shortest
weeky-
month, but
a
the
weeky
longest week.
you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
This week had
Yeah.
8 days for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, that's just what
It
felt
did,
like.
yeah.
Yeah.
The 8 days started Wednesday. You know, that's what it felt like. Like it was good, and then bam, like it's just this long ass week.
Yeah.
Well, like here in Ontario, we had a holiday on the Monday,
I had it on the Monday too.
and then
Yeah.
Tuesday was a regular day, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday was like a snow day here in Ontario, but like it was ice day. And then today's Friday, and it still feels like it's been a week, like 2 weeks.
It was a short week, but it feels like it's so long.
It's those fucking holidays.
Longer when your kids are home.
Exactly. I've had my kids home the whole time.
My kids are always home.
I know, same. That's why I'm always like, oh my gosh. The week always feels longer when your kids are home.
Yeah.
6 months. My 6 months, my kids might be going to school.
Yeah.
In 6 months.
We're gonna
So-
celebrate.
Nap
Oh
time.
yeah, I'm gonna be sleeping the first week, and if they make it to the second week, then I'm gonna be day drinking. And then by the third week, I should be calibrated to where I'm like used to it now. And then it's just now I catch up on stuff that I didn't do those 2 weeks that I was
Yay,
sleeping and
finally
Yeah.
catching up. Or like
Yep.
catching up on the stuff you haven't done since 2019, since 2019.
yeah, like getting my I'll
Yeah.
go get my nails done maybe.
Yeah.
And
We'll have
the-
mom
you
dates. It'll be great.
the haircut. I'll stop
Mhm.
shaving my head.
A real haircut.
A
Yeah.
real one. A real one. Yep. With
Jessica, what are you
scissors.
drinking tonight?
So my husband was doing groceries, and so he got me cheap grocery store beer. For the baby.
Ooh.
So it's 3-speed lager by Amsterdam Brewery, very cheap cans, and there's 20% more in this can. It's actually 568 milliliters. Nice tall can. So it has
I
a
was gonna
bike
say, is
on
that
it.
like a tall boy? But
Yeah,
like
it's
that big a tall
taller
boy?
tall boy. It says like 20% larger than like a tall boy.
It's a tall. He can reach the top shelf.
Yeah. It's a giant tall boy.
I don't know if Amsterdam's like known for tall people, just tall beers. But so I'm drinking beer. It's not very strong. It's like 4.2%, but it's a nice light cheap beer.
Which is good.
Nice.
With
I'm
inflation.
practicing if I'm ever on another guest drinking podcast because I feel like I
They
sounded
wanted so much
stupid last
information. I
time.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Like,
want to
it's
hear
just
us on
beer.
Drunk with Buds, where we badly rate beer, like
Yeah.
Sonia, what are you drinking tonight?
So I saw an advertisement or something where Tom Hanks was talking about cocaine.
I love Tom Hanks. I love cocaine.
So it's champagne and Diet Coke.
because that makes sense.
What?
So like it's and then people are like,
Champagne and Diet
good.
Coke remind you of Tom Hanks. Like I get the
No,
Coke
there's
Diet
no-
Coke thing.
No, this is the drink he said. He said he calls it Diet Cocaine. That's his drink. He said this is what it is. Like
I
he
don't
made
think
it up.
I've ever had cocaine. If that's what it's called. Diet
It's because it's Coke and champagne together. So
it's
like,
it's cane with a G.
yeah.
Yes.
There you go. There we go. We're all cut up. We're all cut up. And like
we got it.
everybody's like, good. Soup, noodle soup. So I'm trying it. We'll see. We'll try.
You take it. We want to know your review.
Yeah.
So I hate champagne. Let's start with that. Let's
Okay.
It's not terrible. It's not like Tom Hanks, how he was going on. It's the best thing ever. Drink it.
You might like champagne, so maybe that's why.
You might like champagne, but like it's kind of like it gives me like sangria vibes, but like
Ooh, imagine like cherry Coke with champagne
or vanilla Coke.
Yeah, or
See, we can
vanilla, like
we
a
can have
flavored
flavors
Coke.
of cocaine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom Hanks, okay, like he did good. I don't hate it, but like
Maybe you
it's
should have
not-
done a sweet wine instead of a champagne. Because
then it would
champagne's
have
can
been
be
a
really
sangria.
bitter.
Then we're just
Yeah.
let's take that off the table altogether. Let's just drink sangria.
I only like champagne if it's with orange juice. That's like it.
Mhm.
Other than that, can't do
Mimosa.
it.
I can do
Oh.
it.
You have to try it with the Coke. I'm like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's all right. I don't hate it.
I feel like the bubbles like combat the other bubbles. Do you think the
I
bubbles
had
are
it in
fighting?
bubbles, so it's fine.
I sit it for a little bit. Like I had it open on the counter because bubbles hurt my nose. So it's
the bubbles did kill all the other bubbles. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a whole out
It was
war.
a bubble war.
The bubble war.
Yeah.
And now,
And
Dawn, after her weeky week, what are you drinking?
A ball of espresso Baileys. Like the whole fucking thing. I was gonna mix it with my Starbucks like Frappuccino case of drinks I got at Costco, but I was all like, no, I don't want a chaser. I just want this. Like
I'm just gonna drink. Well, it's like a nice. You can drink Bailey's on its own. Like it's not a drink you have to mix.
Yeah.
It's a nice.
I was gonna like dilute it with the coffee just to like prolong my drinking, but then I'm like, why do I want to prolong it? I want to get drunk faster, so I'm just gonna drink it the whole thing.
Just drink it.
And then you can
whole
always
thing.
switch to the Starbucks drink after to kind of trick yourself into thinking you're still drinking Baileys.
Yeah.
And then you can actually pour. You just pour it. Well, you don't. The alcohol put you out. This is just to like keep you going until you want to sleep. You could like pour it like in your Bailey's bottle once it's empty to like then trick your brain into drinking more Baileys.
Still drinking.
I'm just imagining her like drunk trying to like pour one in the other.
Use a funnel.
Yeah.
All right. So our topic for the day is, have you ever found a wallet full of money and kept it for yourself? Is the topic. Hold on. And the word is, this isn't even a real word, greased.
Greased?
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say great, but it's GREAST.
Greased.
Maybe
it's
guess.
greased.
It's greased. Oh no.
Well,
or like, have you found anything and kept it to yourself? Like, or do you always return things? Do you ever like finders, keepers, losers, weepers?
If I see the person drop the thing, then I'll go and I'll run and I'll give it to them. Or if it's something very valuable in like a place where I can like drop it off somewhere, like at the mall or something, and you just take it to the info desk or whatever, then I'm like, I'll do that. But if it's like on the sidewalk, it looks like it probably was there for a while, no one's around looking for it, then yeah, might as well keep it.
Might as well. I try to do my due diligence. Like, you find something, you post it on Facebook in groups, like, was this anyone's? And if no one claims it, I feel like it's a finder's fee. Like, I feel like that. Yeah.
So Nicholas actually has a story, not me, because I'm not lucky enough to find anything. We came back from Toronto one time, and the lady got off the train with us, and I guess she dropped her debit card. Nicholas picked it up. He's like, ma'am, he's screaming for her. She did not want to listen to him, and she literally ran from him. Like, he's like, I guess I'm keeping it. Like,
yeah, it's mine now.
Yeah, he never used it, obviously, because that would be bad, but he was just like...
yeah, you didn't find her bank account. You just tapped the card.
Well, no, you can still tap, like, right? Like,
yeah, but that's stealing.
That's stealing.
Yeah,
that's not.
That's what I mean. Like, he was just like, no, I won't do that. But like, he tried to give like her debit card back, and she was just like running away from him.
He's like, what's this weird kid want with me?
Yeah, leave me
alone. Don't forget, my kid is like 6'3", so he is kind of intimidating.
No, he's not. He's 20 pounds. Like, he's
no, it's not.
Like,
he's like a beanpole.
He's like tiny.
No.
Yeah,
no,
he's so scrawny.
Like,
I saw him at Christmas. He's so
he broke his leg. Okay, listen.
And now his leg's broken, so like he's not working out anytime soon. So
exactly, and like, so like his chest kind of got bigger. Like, I'm not saying my kid is fat or anything. Hold on, but my kid did beef up a little in the chest area and not in the legs. So it's gonna be interesting when he's starting to walk. Because he had to hold himself up, so like now his chest muscles are kind of built, but his legs are like sticks, so it's weird looking.
He's a little awkward guy.
Yeah,
I have a debit card story. Little triangle.
Yeah.
So I was at Walmart one time, and I came out of the store, and I found this debit card on the cement. I was like, oh shit, someone dropped their debit. So then I brought it into customer service, and then I got home and I was like, oh, I want a coffee. And then I went into Tim Hortons and I went to pay for my drink. It was my fucking debit card I dropped, so I had to like go all the way back to Walmart. And I went all the way back to Walmart. I'm like, oh, like, remember me? Like, can I have that card back? It's actually mine. And then they're like, oh, like, you need to show ID. And then I didn't have ID, so I had to go home and get my passport and come back. Like, it was interesting.
Oh my god,
that's my finders keepers. I have another one if anyone has one.
Oh, I was gonna say I have a time I lost my wallet story, and someone did bring it back.
Oh,
so yeah, so it has a happy ending, but getting there was interesting. So I ended up going out with a coworker I met at a new job, and she took me to like this little like one of those like prohibition bars, you know, like, try to look like a speakeasy kind of thing. And we went there. Yeah, and she was like, you know, drinking old fashions, and I was like, oh, what is that? She's like, like straight alcohol with like ice. I was like, okay, well, I'm
It's
gonna try it
whiskey.
and be cool
Yeah.
and drink an old fashioned too. Like, you know, I'm
It's
just trying to
whiskey
fit
with
in.
bitters. It's
Okay, I'm
nothing
trying to.
special.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting. Actually, I
Yeah.
prefer my whiskey with Coke. But you know, I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to fit in. I'm trying to like, you know, make friends. I don't know, and
Mhm.
and then she's like, no, okay, we're gonna go meet up people at this other bar. Now, I don't even know where the hell we are because this is not in my area. So I'm just following her to like these bars, you know, thinking we're hanging out. And then she gets up and she's like, oh, my Uber's almost here when we're like shit faced at the second bar. And she like leaves with like her boyfriend or something to like go to her house. And so here I was in a strange bar, shit faced. Ended up meeting a couple that were like, do you need a ride? I was like, yes, thank you. So they actually took me all the way home, which was across the city. And dropped me off, and then Chris let me in the door. Everything was fine. It was shitty of her to do, but everything was fine.
Yeah.
But then I wake up the next morning, and you know the anxious after a drunken night feeling, like you know something happened, but you don't know what it is. So I get up and I'm like, you know, looking through my purse, blah blah, and that's when I was like, oh, I can't find my wallet, and so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna sleep some more and then deal with it because I am not in the headspace. But while I'm sleeping, I get a phone call from private number. So private number usually means a couple things of who could be calling, but I answer it. Hi, this is so and so from the Hamilton Police Department. May I ask who I'm talking to, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, Jessica. He's like, did you lose a wallet by any chance? And I was like, yeah, actually I did. It's like a Super Mario wallet, like all my IDs in there, you know. And he's like, oh yeah, someone dropped it off this morning. They said they found it at a Tim Hortons. I didn't go to a Tim Hortons. So someone found my wallet somewhere else. And you know what? All my ID was in this wallet and only $20 was missing. There was still $60 in this wallet. So someone took $20, bought Tim Hortons, dropped it off at the cops, and said they found it there. And then, then I had got all my ID back the next morning. I had to tell my husband we had to go to the police station because they had my stuff. But you know, it was good. Whoever did that, thank you. You saved
like
me a lot of headaches.
is quite a price to pay because it's a pain in the ass to redo all your ID. Like I would gladly take you can take that $20 just to get back my wallet.
Taken the whole 80. They could have taken the whole 80, and I was still thankful that they dropped my. I couldn't believe they dropped it off at like a police station. But I'm very thankful.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All that work, saving time, and plus the wallet itself is probably $20 to start with.
I got it at like a Comic-Con. Like it was like a Super Mario wallet. Yeah.
I have a story. Where my debit card got stolen. Sorta. Okay, I was friends with this girl. She was not a friend, by the way. And we worked together. And so some backstory. I went to the casino with her one time. I let her punch in my PIN for my debit card to get money for a casino and whatever. I didn't think she would remember. I know, I'm fucking stupid. Anyway, so then, a couple weeks later, we're going to a bar. And we're drinking and whatever. And I go into my pockets and I'm like, fuck, I lost my debit card. Now I don't carry a wallet. I just carry loose debit cards because I'm stupid. And
or have your friends carry it for you.
Everyone else has to carry all your stuff. Yeah.
So then I'm like, shit, I can't find it. And then I go to the bathroom, come back, and then my friend was like, oh no, it was on the floor. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I pay for my drinks and we leave. The next day I check my bank account and there was $200 missing. So, and I couldn't prove it was her, right?
Yeah.
I was like, shit, right? Because she was seeming like the good friend who found my card on the floor. No. I mean, obviously later on I connected the dots and be like, shit's fishy, but and it was literally 2 weeks before Christmas.
Oh, that's the worst. I call me paranoid. I have tap turned off on my cards, all my cards.
Mhm.
Except my one credit card that I use for travel. Everything else, tap is off because I get so paranoid because I'm like, they could just spend like under a certain amount and use my card all the time. And like my ex
Yeah.
used to take my bank card all the time. So it kind of like stressed me out to this point where it's like every time I get a new card from the bank, I always have to like let them know, make sure tap is off. Make sure tap is up. I'm not tapping.
Like,
So it's like if I'm like
I
buying
know.
something that's like $4, you're gonna have to
Yeah.
let me enter my PIN. I'm sorry. Like, wait.
Yeah.
Patience.
But your
I'm a
cards are
boomer.
insured, right? Like even if someone does tap, you can get that money back. Like your cards are insured under
It's
the
still
$200
a
or whatever.
headache.
It
And
is
you're
a
still
headache.
out
Oh,
that
wow.
money
Yeah.
until the bank fixes it. Like it's
Oh
not.
yeah. Like the whole thing
Yeah.
is a fucking headache. Like no matter what. Like I
Yeah.
didn't even attempt to
Gotta
figure out how
stop it
she
at
did
the
it
source. Yeah.
because like because it's a headache. And like the fact that it was my mistake to even let her know the PIN.
That's just
Right?
victim
Like
blaming. No, like that's not your
Yeah.
fault. You should be able to leave a pile of money in front of someone and no one touch it.
I
I
agree.
know, but they tell you all the time, like you do not give your PIN, do not give your PIN. Like so whatever, but my mistake, whatever. Lesson learned
Hey,
is what it
Dawn,
is.
you
Yeah.
want to give me your PIN?
Yeah, hey, John.
Okay, you guys
Yeah,
ready?
Dawn.
It's 2355.
2, 3. That's too many numbers.
Redacted.
Oh wait, no, it's not. It's only 4. See, my brain doesn't. So like, my brain no longer works. I don't know what happened. Like, I had trouble before. Like, you guys know, like before I was a little bit
The before brain. We
distracted.
get it.
The
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
brain was distracted, and then like this like medication, and then I was like, I felt like I wasn't stupid anymore, and that was great. Like there was no more brain fog, and I'm like, now I can't count. Like that's. I was like, hey.
Take your
Like,
meds, folks.
Take
Take
your meds. And like I joke with Kyle like all the time, like maybe I didn't have depression. I only have ADHD. Like that's what
You
it
can
feels
have
like.
both, you know that,
I
right?
know,
Like
yeah, no, I know.
Well, and sometimes like having undiagnosed ADHD can cause depression.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you're not getting
Yeah.
treated for like so many years for anything, you're gonna get depressed. That's just
Yeah. And then like my depression is also because of my anxiety. Like it's not the good anxiety, it's the bad one. Not that there's like a good anxiety, but like
it's like a better
It's a bad one.
anxiety.
There are. If you could choose anxieties, this is
Yeah.
not the one I would choose.
I want the one where I'm productive, not the one where I'm paralyzed.
Yeah.
Speaking of anxiety, I actually have an anxiety story that happened this week too.
Yeah.
She found it.
Okay.
She found her anxiety.
Okay. After this, I know this is like, broadcasted everywhere, but no one will ever mention this again, how I love my husband. So anyway, took a nap with him. He woke up, wanted to go get coffee, right? I was like, whatever, I'm half asleep. I don't give a shit. I'm thinking he's going to come back with coffee. Fuck yeah. He doesn't return. I guess while he was gone to get coffee, he's seen how much snow and stuff was out. And he's like, oh, I should go to my mom's and shovel. So I wake up and I realize he's not home. And an hour later, I'm like panicking. Like, I'm thinking he's dead. I'm literally on my phone and within seconds searching if there was car accidents in my surrounding area.
Instead of like contacting him, you're like
I texted him like 50 times and like there was no answer because he was too busy at his mom shoveling.
Yeah.
And I'm like on the verge of calling hospitals asking if my husband is there. Like instead of calling his mom or anything, because and then eventually he got back to me. He's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I seen that like there was snow and I went to my mom's and whatever, which I should have figured because if he's not home, he's at work or at his mom's. And I didn't think of that. Like, so I went into like some serious paranoia and I was like, shit, I'm going to be alone with these fucking kids. I'm going to have to raise them by myself. Like, I have to plan a funeral. Like, these were my thoughts. I was like, yeah, no, It was bad. It was serious anxiety. Like that's my biggest anxiety is that Dave's going to die and leave me alone with my children. And I can't handle that.
Paranoia anxiety is the worst because I feel like if it happens like a lot or like the paranoia is so crazy, eventually you'll like think you'll be like, this is insane, this couldn't happen, but then you still feel
Yeah.
like it happens, and like it's happening, and then you have like this fight. Like I remember for like a few probably months, but probably like few days a week, I would like have like paranoid delusions where I thought like someone was coming to my house to like get me. So I would just like stare outside every window that I walk, and in my brain I'm like, who cares about me that much that they want me dead? Like who? Name one person. Like
you try to like
the problem in your life was
rationalize.
no one provided effort. Someone's gonna put effort into killing you. Like no, but in my head I'm like, no, someone is, and then like eventually it was like, oh, I'm just paranoid.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like what do you do?
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
it's
man.
you're like
Yeah,
your
you
brain's
can't do
telling you
anything.
one thing. Yeah.
That's what my like. So I have general anxiety disorder. So all day, every day, there's always worst case scenarios going through my head, like my terrible things happening to everybody I care about. And then I also have OCD where I'm like, if I don't think these things, those bad things are actually going to happen.
Oh yeah.
So like there'll be a time where my brain is like, okay, yeah, like okay, like things aren't going to happen. It's fine. Like, you know, you're rationalized. But then the OCD thing is like, oh my God, since I'm not thinking these things, these bad things are going to happen. So like it's fun. Like it's a fun little
Yeah, that's
cycle
actually
that
great.
feeds on itself. Yeah.
yeah. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing. It's like depression, anxiety, paranoia. It's like the longer you're mentally ill, like the harder it is to not be mentally ill.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Like mine's
and I've
toned
tried
down quite a bit now. Like I'm not as bad as I was before. It's just like would have killed him to like goddamn text me that he's at his mother's, like park the car and be like, hey, I'm at my mom's. Like I was pissed. I was like, so
Kyle's
like,
not even allowed to like be at the grocery store too long. Like he's like, I'm fine. Like he has to text me. Like if he's in there for too long, like 15 minutes and he's like not out, like he has to be like, I'm fine. Like relax.
yeah, like I know my husband's
Don't be so
schedule.
crazy.
So like when he goes out of it, it freaks me out. And not because like if he dies, like I'll be lonely. It's because if he dies, I'm with my fucking kids, guy. Like I can't. That's my biggest fear. It's raising my kids.
We can like
myself.
spread our commune faster.
Yeah.
I'll be like, which one of you am I moving in with? Like my
Oh, you
husband
just
will
come
die.
here.
Jessica's closer.
Yeah,
Like,
you just
don't
come
have to
here. That's
travel
fine.
too far. To,
Okay.
Yeah.
So
could
Jessica,
backpack,
if anything happens to Dave, you're my new girlfriend.
I
hate
assume
to
if
tell you,
anything
we're in a
happened to
relationship.
Chris, I'm moving in with one of you. I thought that was like a given. I thought that was
Okay.
just how it happened. I didn't think to
We're
ask.
in a
I'm
relationship
sorry.
right now.
yeah. Like we already know this is happening. Like when something
Yeah.
happens to one of our partners, we're moving in with the other
Yeah.
families. Like
Okay.
that's it. There's
Exactly.
no if. We already have this established.
Yeah. So at the
funny,
funeral,
Chris-
we'll like finalize everything. And be like, hey, so
yeah, at the funeral. That's gonna be
Yeah,
the
at
moment
the
we're gonna
funeral,
finalize the move. Not the person's gonna want to mourn a little bit. God forbid. Like
I don't have time for that. Okay. Like I got an eviction notice coming. Like fuck that.
I was just gonna say, like, Chris travels, so he's like sometimes gone. I think the longest he's been gone is like 2 weeks, maybe. But I know when he does like more and more shows, he's gonna be gone for like longer, possibly. Especially if he does like a tour or something. And I don't really worry about him while he's gone. I worry that like someone's gonna notice like there's no car in the driveway and think no one's home and break in and like what am I gonna do? I'm the only adult, so I have to fight them up. Like that's what I think. I'm like I'm home alone and I'm the oldest. That makes me in charge. I don't want that. I don't want
You need a dog.
Like
You need a dog.
I can't.
Like
I have 3 anxious cats that can't stand being around each other. I can't add a dog to that.
While you're alone.
Yeah, while I'm alone. Like all the animals would just scatter. Like like a stranger comes in, they're just like, nope. Like,
Bye.
You guys saw Pumpkin.
Yeah.
He just hides.
Like, no.
He sees a stranger and he hides. Like
No.
and he's your
safety
big
there.
cat. He could have been a dog. Like
he's 35 pounds.
you should have trained him. Like
I'm trying. All he wants
You
to
can
do is like chase me and get belly rubs. I don't know.
yeah. You could save all your Amazon boxes and then get a car tarp and just like put it put it on your driveway and be like, it's under construction car.
Oh, I should have put out my Rod Redline costume I made and just put
Yeah.
that in the driveway. My cardboard rod. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
You know,
That's your
cosplay
ride.
costume.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, someone must be home.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. Or they think you're just crazy. Like, drive away. You're safe.
I always get worried because I put like pro-choice like posters on my windows and shit, like rainbows and shit. So I'm always like worried, you know, when there's like more and more right-wing fanatics that I'm just making my house a target, but also there's like literally pro-life people across the street. So we're kind of in like a battle of like posters
I don't know.
and
Are
imagery.
someone tagging your name in like post? Because I got that going on.
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
you have the same problem I do. It's just you just realized it now.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I never thought about this dude in like 3 years. What the hell?
Yeah, no, he's obsessed.
Do you want to
with
explain to our listeners a bit of that backstory, what you guys
Okay,
are talking
okay.
about? Because they might not know.
So
Yeah.
I had a friend. I'm not gonna say have because I don't talk to her. And she has a family member who apparently is obsessed with me. And for as long as I've known her, me and him have never gotten along because obviously we are opposite politically, just morally, just everything, right?
He's a disgusting human being. That's what it is.
Recently there was a restaurant with a review, like he had homophobic, transphobic, anti-drag a post going on. And so we were watching it, all of us three were watching how this was going on. And Sonia took it upon herself to lurk one of the persons who was commenting, who happened to be my friend's family member. And so as Sonia's lurking, she comes across a post and he's like, is this Dawn? Like, you know, this guy.
Yeah, it was a recent post. It was like last month.
Yeah. And he didn't even tag you in it. Didn't even have the audacity to tag you
at me. Like, just fucking at me, man. Like, if you want to know, I will answer for you. No, that wasn't me, but I will gladly be there next time. Like,
you should just comment on it. No, it's not me.
I tried to comment. He doesn't have comments on. Like, it's only for friends. Like,
I'm not his friend.
Well, then you should screenshot or take like screenshot that and then post it with your comment above saying no, it's not me, and then tag him in it.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Be like, no, sorry, Kevin, this isn't me.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it wasn't me.
Yeah, but like, it's cool that
you let me know when that's happening so I can be there. Thanks.
Yeah, it's cool that you're thinking about me. Like, it's like you live rent free in this man's brain.
I do, and I haven't talked to this dude in like even longer than 3 years. Like, because she came to my wedding, my friend that is the relative to him. And that was 3 years ago. No, 4 years. 4 years ago, I got married.
Oh, God.
And, like, I haven't talked to him in, like, maybe 10 years, 15 years. Like, I was a teenager. So, yeah, I'm going to say 15 years. This dude has me in his brain for 15 fucking years. Like,
yeah.
That's why
you know
I'm
he's spying on your shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the one that gave us a 1-star review.
Maybe.
It was
him.
It was him.
No,
like,
no. It was
be...
probably my friend or ex-friend, whatever. Like, maybe it was her.
Like, we can't be like a stranger who listened to us and generally didn't like our stuff.
No.
That's impossible.
No.
But the person in that video had blue hair, and I haven't had my hair blue for a year. So, like, what the fuck?
He calls the people blue-haired people, the people who are like left on the left side. He calls them blue-haired people. Like, that's his terminology for people who want equal rights.
Okay, and the funny thing is that his relative that I was friends with told me I should dye my hair blue. That she thought it would be really cool for me to dye my hair blue.
Oh, you know he's totally attracted to these blue-haired people that he's making fun of. Like, half these transphobes watch trans porn. That's literally like Alex Jones, type shit. Like, and that's one reason they're so against it, because they're attracted to them and they don't know how to like decide
Express
like
their feelings.
well, yeah, they're like, I'm not gay, and it's like, well, you're watching a trans woman, so you're right, you're not gay. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah,
It's like, we're trying to help you here out, buddy. Like,
we're trying to
like, what? But yeah, so they can't look at themselves, so and feel their own feelings, so they take it out on a minority group.
Yeah, he was a promoter, so I don't want to talk too much about he's a disgusting human. I'm just gonna leave it at that. But like, he's part of this entire group of people in Hamilton who share the same views, but they're like trying to be like break the scene in entertainment and stuff. Like, it's hilarious. It's fun to like laugh
the Hamilton
at them.
rappers, the Hamilton,
a group of white rappers. yeah,
Eminem wannabes. Like, they grew up listening to Eminem and thought they could be the next one, and it's like, no, dude.
Well, who at your wedding, Dawn, was trying to talk to Chris about the music industry. Chris with
We're
millions
not friends
of
with him either.
listeners. Yeah, and this guy didn't even have a Spotify account. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Even my husband, who was like kind of acquaintance with him, doesn't even talk to him anymore. He's like, no. And it's funny because, okay, so I posted that status on Facebook, right? About like, are you a fan or a stalker? And so Dave messaged me. He's like, who the fuck's talking shit about you now? And I was like, I can't tell you. You'll go to prison and I'm raising these kids alone. Like, I can't. So my fear comes back, about raising these kids. And I'm like, no.
Kyle and I just laugh about those situations. He's just like, I'm sorry, this is what you married into, but
no, because
you don't even have a reason.
Dave don't like agree on a situation, right? Like, our opinion of whatever. If someone says anything ill about me, even if he would agree with them, he will still kick their ass because that's his wife. And like, you don't talk shit about his wife.
Yeah,
like,
it's that old school ghetto love, right? Like,
yeah. Like, he could hate me, but the second someone else says something, he'd be like, no, you don't say that about my wife. Like, I'll kill you. He's a Will Smith.
He's a Will Smith, right? Good for him.
He is. He's a Will Smith. He will smack someone for saying anything bad about me. Even if he hates me, it won't matter. He'll still do it.
Yeah, and I don't get that. Kyle's like, no, fight your own battles. I'm like, okay.
Chris has gotten better over the years, because there was like a brief period where I had to keep defending him and myself. And I was like, I don't have the energy for this, to be fair. So I'm just going to not deal with your shit anymore. And then I stopped. And then he had to deal with his shit, which was like taking a toll. And I was like, well, if you help me with my shit, I'll take a little bit of your shit. And then now he's gotten better.
now you're taking care of each other's shit.
Well, because it used to be like his parents used to like attack me, but never in direct ways, like just enough to provoke, so that if I was like aggressive, verbally to them, then they would like be like, see, look what she's irrational, she's blah blah. And I'm like, you've just been saying shit like for the past 2 hours. What are you talking about? Like, I don't.
Yeah.
And he would just sit there quietly. But now he's starting to take more stances with them, and I get to sit back quietly, and it's fun to watch.
It's really hard to like talk back to your parents, no matter how old you get.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I just can't. Like, it's just, but
For me, that was with my dad. It's just hard to talk to my dad in general. Good things, bad things, it didn't matter. It was hard either way. For my mom, I always talked back, but I mean, there's the reason she left when I was 14. But
I never had that talking back thing. Like with my mom, it was just don't talk to each other. So,
yeah, that's my dad.
Just don't talk to each other. Just always supportive. But when I went to things, it was mostly like, it's a weird relationship. Well, I don't have it now, but like, cause she died, but like, it's always like a weird relationship between the two of us. But I do have a story on topic about finding some money.
Sorry.
Yeah, so this is pre-Dawn. This is before I moved beside Dawn Marie and we started being friends. It was the house
Ooh,
before that.
Sonia, the early years.
The early
This
years.
is really early because I met her when I was 5. So
Yeah, I was
let's
6.
sink in.
I was 6. And we lived beside across the street. We lived in the industrial area, and there was this business thing where like a Brinks truck would go every day, kind of thing. Well, like a bag of money, literal bag of money, didn't get put on the truck.
Oh God.
And it was a lot of fun. I found it playing across the street in this business's parking lot. And I shared it with everybody, all the kids on my street, the teen, like I went to the corner store and bought hamburgers for everybody. It was like a fun experience. I was 6, I didn't know who to return it to. And we were like really poor. So the chances of like actual giving it back to somebody were slim to none.
Yeah.
It was great.
No, fair.
So it was fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Candy.
it was their mistake. Don't worry about it.
They have insurance, and it wasn't like it was only loonies. Like it was a bag of loonies. It was
that must
like,
have been heavy.
It was pretty heavy. I was like hamburgers and stuff. Like it was, but back in the day, a hamburger was only like
$1.
75 cents. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it was pretty cheap. And candy was still pennies and 5 cents candies, and my brothers bought smokes and stuff like that. It was I don't know. It was a great experience. I had a lot of fun. Finding a bag of money.
I
bag of money now.
I just had more. I think I've had more things just stolen from me than I've been.
Oh yeah, I've had
steal.
so much stuff stolen from me.
Oh my God, yeah.
Maybe that was like prevent. What is it? I can't even think of the word anymore. What is it when something happens before something happens? Preventive? No.
Oh no, provisions.
See?
Are you just saying it's karma, like because you took that money?
No, I know she's sick.
Yeah, but like karma,
Premonitions.
No, not premonitions. No, we're gonna move on.
What fucking word is? I'm drunk.
Words are hard.
Preemptive. It was a preemptive thing. So like, although everything that's been stolen from me is about 10 times of what that bag of money was.
I know.
There might have only been $200 of loonies. Like it wasn't like it wasn't the crazy amount.
A lot of burgers though.
A lot of like it was gone in a day. Like it was neighborhood kids, everyone got burgers. It was people at the park got burgers.
I miss that. Like I miss like I grew up in like poor housing as well, and like that some people they would go my neighbors a couple doors down would like go to McDonald's and buy like giant bags of just the cheap cheeseburgers and just like hand them out on the street, you know, like in the neighborhood, you know, like shit like that used to happen. I've lived in this house for like 6 years almost, and I don't know my neighbors. And not a one
for each other.
Yeah, one of them, and like I don't know their names. I probably couldn't recognize their faces, I'll be honest. I hear them sometimes, but that's about it. Like I know nothing, so I don't even know what they do. I don't even know how many people live in their house. I've
never been close to my neighbors. And like just this house now, we've lived here for like 16 months. And like I have more contact with, not just because of my dogs, but I have more contact with my neighbor in the last like 4 months than I've ever had contact with any neighbor I've ever had in my adult life. Like when we were kids, it was like everybody was involved because we grew up like in a very poor area, and a lot like poor, like they just all take care of each other.
Yeah,
like it's
this community,
like poor people look out. Yeah. And I was like, well, you know, I don't want to live in that area because it's bad for your lungs. So I never lived in that area when I had my kids. And then so I've never had that sense of community as an adult. Like it's because
I know my neighbors.
Yeah, you
neighbors.
You live in that type of area.
Yeah, I have all my neighbors that are like went to my wedding and stuff, and like I'm really close with them. And even Sonia knows my neighbors. Like shit, she sent brownies to them.
Yeah.
They were all at my wedding. Like I had, no.
Yeah. See, you have to be poor. See, it's beneficial. I
Yeah.
am poor,
I'm
but
like
I
the
just,
richest
I
poor
just don't
person
live in the
in my
area.
hood. Like
Yeah.
we actually have like David's actually working. We have a car that's like from 2020, which is like new to everyone. So we're like the rich of the poor. It's weird. But
Yeah,
we're
I don't
still
know
poor.
what it is. Like, and and like because we're like the youngest in this area that like have a house. So it's like it's all these like older neighbors and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say hi to you. You're like 60, 70, 80. Like I don't know what the protocol is. Like I
Wait
feel like
till
I'm
their
going to
grandkids
offend
move in.
you.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
yeah. We had that problem too, where we were always, because we were lucky enough to own young, and we always lived in communities where the population that owned the houses were a lot older, and so there was also really no kids in the area, and then, but luckily when we moved to like Fort Erie, there was actually a bunch of kids in the area, but the kids were old enough that you never actually had to talk to the parents, so it was nice. They just went out and played with their friends, but it was never really a sense of community like it was when I grew up. Well, maybe because like there's been inflation and stuff. Like people can't do those things. They can't buy bags of burgers to give to kids, and they
Yeah.
like it's a lot harder than it used to be, and it's just been getting worse, right? Like it
Well,
was
and
bad when we were young.
individualism has been marketed more and more as well. Like people are spending more time online and more time, doing their own things in their own
Well,
spaces,
everything's
even if it's a
online
poor
now.
space. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like it's automatically, making it harder, I guess. I don't know. I
Yeah.
When I went to like university even, like I didn't have community there because I didn't live on campus.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
second, third, and fourth year, everyone already had like new people in their programs and stuff because they lived in the dorms together and did all that stuff together. And I was like, I don't know any of you, but I'm in this class, so I guess So yeah, like I almost miss being a kid. That's why I'm excited for our commune because I can
Me
see you
too.
bitches
Me
all the
too.
time.
All the time, and we can take care of each other. Like that'd be
Yay!
nice. Yeah.
I want one of those like giant couches. Like the
Like the
giant.
huge like you with
Yeah.
like the ottoman that goes in the middle and it can be like a giant bed thing, like for
Yeah,
like
that I want that.
I
So
want
we
that
have like
too.
giant like cuddle parties with like junk food and have like a projector on my way
Oh
back.
yes.
Yeah.
With like
Yeah.
all the blankets and pillows everywhere. And like
Oh, everywhere. Like I want to drown in
twinkly
them.
lights.
Like you can't see me. There's so many pillows and blankets on top. Like I'm just like a face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have like a
Dude,
straw so I can breathe,
Yeah.
if you want these dreams for us to be realities, share us on all your own personal social medias. Thank you very much.
We'd appreciate it. Thank you. Make our
Yeah.
dreams come true.
Well, and if you are listening and you hear a topic that like rings like true in your own head, you're like, oh yeah, I totally found this wallet once and blah 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 blah. Email us at opinionatedlushes@gmail.com and we'll read it because that interests us.
Yeah.
I want to know your guys' lives.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
bitches I'm kind of like already sick of. I don't know.
Nice.
We're sick of you too.
I'm kidding.
You
It's a
want
joke,
to
it's a
cuddle
joke.
with us.
It's a
You
joke.
just said so.
She can't wait
That's
to live
the
with us when she's sick of us.
hypocrisy of life.
Yeah. You just said you want to cuddle.
I do.
Oh,
Chris
and
is
TV
like
watching,
furry.
video games.
So it's like
Dude,
I
yeah,
have to
he's
watch
too
where I put my
hairy.
face. Yeah, so I have to watch where I put my face, or else it like itches, and I'm like rubbing my nose
Yeah.
and stuff all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, God doesn't understand. He's like, why won't you come close? I'm like, because you're too hairy, man. Like, what do you want from me? Like, it
Well,
just
and like
tickles my
I
nose.
don't really have any hair, so it's like I don't have like a protective layer myself.
It like
know what
rubs
I mean?
and it hurts. Like, yeah, there's friction burn.
I get all
Like,
red, like and blotchy.
Yeah.
What's wrong? It's like you're scratching me with what? Your follicles. I don't know.
You're a Brillo pad. Like, it hurts. I can wash dishes with you. Scrub the toilets. Like, come on.
Just with his arm, just
Yeah. It does
Gets
not
right in
need
there.
any scrubbers. Yeah. Ugh.
That's
Those are the bitches
great.
they don't want.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. What else have we found and or stolen? And or had stolen or found?
Groceries is a good thing to steal these days. You should.
Oh,
I'm
God, yeah.
promoting it. I'm promoting everybody. Go to your local grocer and steal something for fun. You just
All
and if
of
you
them.
don't need it, drop it off.
Unless
and
it's like a small like
oh yeah, never
business.
mom and pop. Never,
Yeah.
never, never.
No, we want corporate.
We never talk mom and
like,
pop.
Anything owned by low
Galen Weston would be a good one.
fucking Galen Weston. Junior.
Walmart is another
fucking
one.
Junior.
Well, and they
We
like
hate him.
literally put like stolen goods as like a loss in their budget. So it's like
Yeah.
you need to steal a lot to even like put a dent in their budget because they already like prepared for that. So maybe we should like make them raise that a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Dig a little more. Make them really, really want it.
Yeah, they have insurance for it, so like
Yeah.
you should do it to help them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
just a quick steal from the grocery store.
Hey, morality and legality are not the same things.
Unfortunately.
No, unfortunately. I mean, they should be. That's what we're taught, but they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you, big business. There's like these things. It takes us all day to make bread. Okay, so if you get paid by the hour, it takes about $50 to make bread. But just to save $2 so I don't have to buy it from the people at the grocery store. You know, like it's cheaper to make like for like cost wise, but like it's a lot of time and stuff. So
yeah,
really it's not cheaper because nowadays time is money.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to give my money to those people. Like I'm
no, fuck them.
I used to hate when like minimum wage here is like 14 now, but when I remember when I was working and it was like $11, like $10.25, and then it went to $11.
I was gonna say I remember when it was under $10. Like I was paid $8.75 or some shit.
That's like serving wage was $8.75 when I was when it was $10.25 minimum wage, and then they got raised to like $9.25 or $9.75 and $11 minimum wage. I was working like during that time, and I remember our bosses like freaking out about like 50 cents more an hour. But I remember doing like the math and being like, okay, after they take off taxes and I pay for my sitter and I pay for my bus tickets, I'm making $3 an hour to be here right now. Like it's like, holy shit! Like that's what 2 hours for like some milk. You know, it made me hate. I feel like that was where I was like, oh, time to viva la revolution. You know, that was
It's worse now though. Like
it's so worse.
Yeah, and like people keep raising their prices again.
You're in the negatives now. Like you're not even making any money. You're going into debt.
But
like,
that's the funny thing is like minimum wage had like a giant boost. It went from $11 to $14, like in a really short time. But inflation,
inflation is like no, hold my beer. We got this. Like we're gonna go way past that. Like
and like for the last 5 years at least, all these businesses have been making record profits. So like they made each year they're making more and more money, record profits. So like it doesn't matter that minimum wage went up. That does not reflect at all in
and these record profits are what drives inflation. Like I hate when people do like, oh, we can't raise minimum wage because it will cause inflation. It's like no. That's not how inflation works. That's right. No, sorry, you are misinformed. Like if that was the case, like then like inflation has been going up even when minimum wage doesn't. So how do you explain that? Like think for like 3 seconds. Rub those two brain cells together and maybe you'll get enough friction to like have a real thought. Like that's not how inflation works. And I hate when people make that argument like against minimum wage. And if you're a business and you can't afford to pay a living wage to your employees, you can't afford to be in business. Sorry, tough luck. That's capitalism, baby. Like that's how capitalism works. Like some people can't afford shit. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just like, have all your needs met? That's what I'm
Right?
saying. Like, you're just
Listen
advocating
to
for
our
her.
episode.
Yeah.
I
I know. It's just, I
lies.
have like these arguments
Lesbians,
with
love notes,
people.
and lies. Yeah.
They're so fucking dumb. Like, it's they have the same argument, and when you like prove they're wrong, they're just like, yeah,
That's my opinion.
you're just stupid. No,
They say this is as fact, and then later on they're like, "That's my opinion." I'm like, I
What-
know that's your fucking opinion, but your
Are you
opinion's
just a
wrong,
blue-haired
and it's
liberal?
not fact.
Yeah, always blue-haired liberals. Like,
Fat ugly hoe. It's like, okay, and your point, I'm still right. Like,
You
you
must
can
be
be
a
fat, ugly, and a
lesbian.
hoe, and still right,
Yeah.
bitch. Like,
Yeah.
what?
it's only lesbians who want equal rights and people to eat. That's
Yeah.
it's an only lesbian issue.
I know. Lots of trans people too. They're
Yes.
you know.
Oh, yes. And if you're trans, you want the right things, and like, yeah.
No, but that's like only their insult. It's like, oh, you must be a lesbian because you
yeah.
have equal rights and
Yeah.
food and stuff. So like
Yeah.
that's all the straight people, even the gay men, they're not on the same fight. It's only lesbians
Yeah.
who want people to live. That's lesbians.
That's it.
That's only
Oh, I'm always pro.
I mean, if you want to call me a lesbian, I'll take it. Whatever. It does not hurt
lesbians
me.
are fighting the good
Like-
fight. They're doing the Lord's work. Go
We need to
lesbians.
friend that one person that was doing the Lord's work, actually.
Oh, she was entertaining, yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, her
Meg
name
Black.
is Meg. Yeah, so Meg, if you're listening, we
Meg
adore
Black,
you.
be our friend.
Yeah. You made comments on the biggest post in this restaurant. I'm not naming this restaurant. You were funny. And I think we could vibe well. So if you want to be my friend,
We gotta remember. We'll tag her in this episode that we gave her a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She doesn't even. She's like these fucking weird bitches.
We just really appreciate you. That's all.
They must
Take
have
the
autism.
compliment.
And if you want a shout out, just email us and we'll shout you out too, by the way.
Right. We'll be
Yeah,
like,
At
hey,
opinionatelushes@gmail.com.
We'll do like an email from a listener. Ooh, and then we'll just read
What?
whatever you type.
it doesn't have to be, it could be gibberish. I don't care. We'll
I
read
want
it.
our listeners to email us, ask us questions, like tell us stories. We want to know.
I was
Like a
just
call-in?
imagining gibberish and trying to read it and it going like, you know, 'cause it's like just typing random letters and you have to like make it up. That'd be almost like a challenge. Like, who can read
I'd
it?
do
the
it.
Trying to
closest?
pronounce it.
Whatever they type.
As you start speaking Sims, like
Yeah, we should do an episode in Similes. I forget what their language is called. And then have
Simlish?
subtitles. Yeah, and then have subtitles. That would be like a fun
Okay, maybe
thing.
like a mini YouTube exclusive because like video would need to be required for that because I don't know how audio would work for subtitles.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, I'm actually interested in this idea. This would be hilarious.
we'll come
because then
back.
we
We'll
could
come
just
back to this.
talk like we're just like talking. You know, like whatever. And then we have to type the subtitles after the conversation because we don't know what each other's saying.
Right.
So I'd be that almost sounds like a fun little mini YouTube thing that I might.
And then
look
whatever
into.
happens. We only do our own subtitles. We don't do each other's.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my god, this is a good idea.
And then
Okay,
like whatever happens like at the end result. It
Write
was
this
just
down,
edited
Sonia.
lines on.
Okay, make sure to follow our YouTube channel. Chanel.
She's already doing it. She's already speaking to
Are you YouTube Chanel?
Yeah.
Opinionated Lushes, where you can find these episodes, unedited videos on Saturdays. I believe our unedited books and booze on Fridays. Our sound bites and lots of other random stuff like special things like Simlish videos that we're planning on doing. So I think this is a great idea.
If we remember the next day, well, we're sober and hungover, but like
I'm going to be editing
now.
this audio, so it's recorded. We do
Sonia
have
still
our
needs
1
to write
year
it down.
coming up. We do have our 1
Our
year coming up.
podiversary.
Is that what it's called? Podiversary?
I thought I've been calling it. I like to catch on. every time someone's like, "Oh, I've been doing a podcast for 8 years," I've been like, "Happy podiversary!" So like, I want it to be like a thing. I want people to catch. I want everyone to start using. Yeah, start using it. I give permission.
Yeah.
I want.
We got to figure out what
Hashtag.
we're gonna do for that episode as well. So for our podiversary, got lots of
Hashtag
brainstorming to
podiversary.
do.
Yeah,
Don't steal our ideas.
We're
And
gonna
if you
start
do,
using
bring
it
it
as a
back.
hashtag all over Twitter and stuff. Start hashtagging it.
hashtagging.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
We'll make it like trending.
You just keep saying hashtag.
Hashtag.
We got it. We gotta do it.
Trending.
Okay, for a hashtag, that's just the number sign, right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they made like hashtags were like the pound sign?
That is the pound. Like the number sign is pound. And star is star. Yeah.
Oh,
It
you're
was pound and
right.
something else. No, star was called something
What's
else.
star?
Star
Okay,
was
hold on. I'm looking at my phone.
pound was the hashtag thing.
Yeah. Pound
Oh,
is
okay. So,
hashtag.
yeah, could you imagine if hashtags were stars? How that would change the
So what
entirety
is
of the internet?
Star?
Well, I use stars.
Star was your
Your fingers
like, wait. No, that's a
star,
diamond.
like-
Wait, a star. Wait,
But it looks like this. It's like all like the different. It's like all this lines, you know. Like,
how would you make a star with your hands? We're having trouble.
my little stubby fingers don't do anything.
I just keep making diamonds and shit. I don't know. Spiders. You know,
There's
here is the
spiders,
church, and here is the steeple. And we open the doors. And here's all the people. Star.
I do have a good sleep, you guys.
Okay, do we have any other lost item stories to tell? Or
No.
that wasn't even the topic. Stories of items we found.
Stuff
that
you
we
found.
chose.
You found.
Yeah.
No.
I
did
wish
not
there was
find
more
anything.
stuff I found. I wish I found more stuff. Just cause I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta
that's what
start
good happens to me.
I gotta start looking. I'm gonna start walking down the highway where I live. I live off a highway. So I'm gonna start walking on the highway and just picking up random shit.
Just
don't
record
listen to
all the
people.
stuff you find and make it like a TikTok, like the stuff I found on the highway.
And not people. Don't pick up the people. Okay?
I found a person. Stranger
that's good.
danger. Yeah.
Oh, like a live person. I was imagining like a dead person.
I have found a dead person before. Have you guys ever found a dead person?
No, but I
No.
did watch Stand By Me, and they found a dead person.
I have found a dead person. It's okay.
I have not. I'm apparently not living.
It's not like exciting. It's a little sad.
I've
You
been
think?
near dead people. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I've been near dead people too. Yeah.
I mean, I've watched a person slowly die, but not like die.
You didn't
Like,
find it. Yeah. No, you have to
Yeah.
find it. You can't just be like, oh, you can't just walk back in the room. Found it.
I went
Yeah.
to the cadaver museum in at Queen's University and got to like touch dead, like dissected dead people, which was pretty
Ooh.
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
no.
And
No.
your lung feels like a sponge.
Oh, no. I have a thing about textures and like I can't touch things and like that just freaks
And
me
we
out.
dared the one girl to like touch the penis, and she did. So
I would do
Yeah.
that. I like anything else.
It's not that great.
Touch
It's just
it.
skin.
yeah, but it was like a dead penis. So it was just like
It's
Fair,
still
penis is
skin.
penis. But
Or do
listen,
they like stuff it? Do they
Well,
stuff it?
another guy was dared to like. This is how we like. Who thought it was great to bring 16-year-olds to see dead bodies? The teachers were there and they didn't do anything. They were just like, you know, and these bodies are donated to science. So science. So they're like,
Oh.
we're like picking up joints and shit. And we had like someone stick their finger in the knee joint and then drop it, and they hurt their finger.
that like the body exhibition, like with all the muscles and stuff?
No, at Queen's University they have like a cadaver museum. So the first room is like preserved body parts, bones that have been like dehydrated. They have like a face that's split into very thin little pieces that you can like open like a book and stuff, and it's really interesting. But then you go into the back room, that's all the formaldehyde smell, and they always have a female and a male that like donated their body to science, and they're mostly like dissected and like open up, and you can like touch their body.
Tummy, you guys.
Yeah, right.
So cool.
Yeah, and like it was for my like senior biology class, so that was our field trip. And then we went to lunch.
I should take the kids. That's like such a good educational thing.
Yeah, it was
like
really,
I'm
it was
squirming
really cool.
over here, you guys.
No, it was a good experience, and apparently, like almost all the first years at Queen's University get to tour that whole area as well. No matter your major, because there's always like a benefit to learning about the body. So
yeah, I could never.
Queen's University,
like, this is
shout out.
Like some serious.
So gross.
My
Okay.
ASD is like triggered right now.
I'm
it's like
so sorry.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Like my skin is crawling right now, you guys. It's like just stay on my skin for a minute. Just stay.
How much alcohol do you have left? Did you finish your bottle?
Like that much. Like
well, that's great.
I've been having trouble drinking.
It's Grace.
It's not.
Are you wanting me to finish it?
Yeah, I'm saying the drink word. It's Grace.
It's Grace. This is a Grace drink.
Okay.
Well, now I'm going to say goodnight to you, Dawn. Thank you for finishing.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.